Hello guys, this is my day 17 of self-improvement. Today I'm going to start a chapter, second last chapter, which name is the Go- the Goldilocks rule. So what is Goldilocks rule? Before we start the chapter, I want to discuss something. You know what's the difference between a professional and a non-professional? So what a professional can do and what a non-professional cannot do. So by reading this chapter we are going to learn how we behave like a professional, how we are able to make ourselves a professional personality. So now start the chapter. We are going to start it. The name of the chapter is Goldilocks rule. The main mo- the main cons- the main fact of this chapter is how to work motivated and not to get demotivated by the work. So let us start. First of all, what is a Goldilocks rule? You know what? When we want to develop a habit, we get some load. It's obvious. The load to perform that activity regularly and repeatedly. So when this load exceeds a prescribed limit, then it is feel like a burden. And when this load is below a prescribed limit, then it is called as boredom. That is, you started feeling bored in doing that activity. So the thing I'm trying to say is, uh, the activity which you want to do regularly should be the ideal at the level of your mind. That means it matches the level of your mind that you are. If you choose to do that activity which are much higher uh, than your limit, then it feels like a burden on you, and you stop doing that after doing a few times or few days. And if you try to do that activity which is too low to your level, then you feel bored in doing that activity. The example is this: when you are playing table tennis, and if you play with a person who does not suppose you are playing a table tennis and you are a average player, and you are playing against a person who does not know how to play it, so you can easily win. And another case is that if you are playing with a professional table tennis player, then it is very easy for them to defeat you, and you are easily going to lose. So the fact is that you like to play with those person which are of more or less your equal knowledge. That means he also should know the amount of also should know that amount of table tennis only that you know. So you want to play with only those type of person. So this happens also with our habits. If you choose that habit which are more higher than your level, then it is difficult for your brain to cope up with it and regularly perform it. As a result, you are going to leave it after few times or few days. And if you choose that habit which are very low than your level, then it feels boredom and you does not feel to perform that habit. So it is very important that the habit you choose should be on that level that does not goes beyond your level and does not exceed your limit. So the range, so this range where you are desired to do a habit is called Goldilocks rule. So this is shown in the diagram here. This is the boredom phase where your activity that you are doing is too low that you started feeling boredom. And this is the range when your activity is so high that you can't perform it, or as a result you become fails in performing those habits. So by the range of this area and this area is called Goldilocks rule. So this is the one thing. The next thing is how a person feel. What is the main challenge of a habit? The main challenge to form a habit is not the failure but boredom means when you started feeling bored and you does not desire to perform that habit anymore. So this is the main problem of the habit. 90% of the people stop doing habit because they feel unmotivated or undesirable to do that activity. So that's the reason why people stop doing activity. So the solution to cope up with the boredom is to become professional. So as I started in, as I told you in this video in very starting, that what is a professional, who is a professional? The professional is those person who perform the activity irrespective of the feeling or emotion that he get from that activity. Example, if he is a lawyer, then he has to perform his duty even if he does not feel to perform it. That's why he is called as a professional. Another example is a bodybuilder. If he is a professional bodybuilder and he does not feel to do exercise today, but he, instead of that feeling, he will start and do his exercises because he is a professional and he has to do it. Similarly, the same concept is also applied to habit of an ordinary person. If an ordinary person perform the habit as per the willingness or the motivation or desire of that a particular person, then it is very difficult for a person to do it, to do their habit regularly, because as we human are regularly changes our emotions in relation to a particular thing or activity. So the amount of excitement or motivation that we get by doing the activity first time is not same as we are doing the activity second time or third time. So by doing the activity regularly, the excitement or the satisfaction that we get from that activity decreases slowly, and after a point of time you stop feeling any desire to do that activity or any motivation or any satisfaction that you get from doing that activity. So the solution of this is to become a professional in this habit. So what does it mean? So it means that whether you are feeling lazy or you are feeling anything, just do the habit without thinking about the emotion or feeling that you are deriving from doing that habit. This is the only way how to master a habit or to make a habit unbreakable. So what we have learned in this chapter is, first is Goldilum rule. So the activity should be chosen at that range of that range that does not exceeds your limit or that does not below your limit. And the second one is to become professional, that is to do the activity in every state of your mind, whether your braining is telling you to not to do, or to you are feeling lazy or you are not desire to do the activity. Irrespective of that, you should do the activity so that you become professional in that particular habit. So we have learned these two things in this chapter. Now I'm going to the last chapter of this book, which is the downside of creating habit. There is a side effect of also creating a habit. When you perform a habit regularly and after some time you feels that you are able to master your habit, but this is not true. When you perform your habit regularly and after a point of time, your mind is able to do the habit without even thinking about it. That means you have reached that level that your brain is going to your body is doing that activity without even putting some extra effort to think about it. The example is when you are learning bike. First you have to use a lot of your brain to control the handling, brakes, accelerator, and after a point of time after 2 years or 3 years, you automatically are going to control everything. You don't need to think about it, how to when to brake and when to accelerate. Similarly goes to the activities also. After a point of time, you are able to perform your habit deliberately, and your brain does not need to think about it. At that point of time, the person start thinking that he has mastered the habit and continue to do that habit. uh, but at if but this is the problem. If you are doing a habit but regularly for a long time, and when you mastered it, then you should shift to the new habit. And if you stick to that habit only, then then slowly and slowly it will go deteriorating. If you I can say it, you stop thinking about uh, the leakages, or I can say the errors, small minor errors that you are making in the habit. You stop going to you are not going to think about that errors. So the here is the graph of in one graph you are doing only one activity and you have mastered it. And in the second graph, when you are doing one activity and mastered it, then again you shift to the new habit at that point. And then sorry and then you are again going to master the new habit. And if you master that habit, then again you switch to another habit. The second case, you are able to grow yourself. And if you follow the first case only, then you are after a point of time, you are deteriorating your habits, you are deteriorating your growth. So this is how shown in the figure. In the first figure, when you have choose only one habit, first it goes upward, then startingly then after a point of time he start declining. Here's the area where your habit is declining. And if you switch to another habit after a point of time, after mastering the first habit, then you again going to grow up. And if you master that second habit also, then you should shift to the third habit, so that your growth is continuous and does not stop. So this is the thing that you learn from this chapter, that when you mastered one habit, you should shift to the another habit. And this is for today. Thank you.